Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Oh, you cooked today?
No, just my father asked me to do the offering. Worship. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rai Prabhu, I don't know why this is giving. This has been doing this.
It's not appearing.
Huh?
It's not appearing, right? Let me unplug it.
Yeah. Okay, that also.
Hey, how are you? Yes. No, you can leave it there. No problem.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Unable. Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Sometimes they do go back, that's true. Like the last year, I'll be in on that city for the menu, but also after like some time, it's just, I wasn't recognizing it in my laptop.
What's new? What's new?
Oh, that's,
Nothing really, just had it school.
yeah,
So just searching.
okay. Is it busier at that time of year usually, or?
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Right? And it usually festival season.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay, nice. Damn.
Yeah.
You like technology, stuff like that?
Hare
You
Krishna,
got
Hare
headsets
Krishna,
or stuff like that?
yeah, it's cool. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Algebra stuff.
Algebra, yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, easier.
They probably do calculator stuff like that.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. I prefer it. I don't know. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Right.
Krishna.
That seems to take a while.
Once you understand the singular patterns from that, you just get into it.
That's true, yeah. It's like it repeats itself and stuff like that. Yeah, it just seems.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Oh, it's been following the road couple of.
Hare Krishna.
You're not so close to it, but my brother does. Yes, I know it's been doing pretty well.
गणपति जय। Nothing can cover.
कि जय जय कोरा चांदे आरती सतो जय जय कोरा चांदे आरती को शोभा जानवी तट जगमन लोगा Radha Sampada
परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य सत श्री श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। आनंद कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री मथुरा धाम की जय। श्री नवदीप धाम की जय। श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। संवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Daine. Pralada Lada Daine. Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha. Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj. Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
भगवान नरसिंहदेव की कला महाराज की निताई गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि।
Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody. My name is Krishna Dalal Das. I'd like to welcome you all to our Sunday Feast program here at ISKCON Ottawa. We're at the residence of our beloved Shri Gauranitai Ki. So welcome. Is there anybody here coming for the first time? Seeing familiar faces. For the second time, third time? You guys are core. The core is here. Hare Krishna. Nice to see everyone. And happy Father's Day to all those fathers that are out there. It is Father's Day. So today, our speaker, I'm going to introduce, is going to be the great Marita Prabhu. And he will be speaking on the science of Krishna consciousness from the Bhagavad Gita. And following that, we'll have some kirtan and some announcements. And we'll start to get hyped up and ready for what's coming up? Rath Yatra, yeah, July 18th. Somebody came a little bit earlier, one of the devotees who's just came for the first time, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And he said he had to be somewhere else, but he specifically wanted to come and give a donation for Rath Yatra. So he came and he brought an envelope and donated it to Sri Gauranitai. So it's really nice to see that devotees, and he was inquiring, what's the parade going to be like? Where do I start? Oh, I'm going to come for the whole thing. And how he can serve and assist. And Roy Prabhu mentioned that, yeah, we're going to be there early. Come on Saturday morning. And I mentioned that devotees are actually going to be here probably Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, starting to get ready, cooking, preparing, chop up, and just getting ready to serve, getting ready for the festival. So now it's almost the end of June. And before we do that, we'll have also our Canada Day Festival, which is July 1st. And so, which is just, we come out on the streets, we take advantage of the fact that there's, I think one year we were there, somebody was telling me that the census was that there's like 300,000 people passing through the core by the Parliament building. Right? It's a lot of people who get the opportunity to hear the names of Krishna. And you've been part of the Canada celebration since, I think, 1980, way before I was born, actually. So devotees were doing that here in Ottawa. It used to be on Spark Street, and then it moved a few other in front of Chateau Laurier for a few years, and now we're at the National Arts Centre, in front of the National Arts Centre. And so it'll be a full day of kirtan starting from 9 a.m. to about 5 p.m. We have the bus tour who's coming too from Alachua, so big 2 coach buses, I think, with about 40 or 50 youth that are going to come and join us with His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami. He'll be here. And as well, we have a drama performance that's going to take place. We're trying to see if we can get a venue, and on July 8th, have a little drama evening, right? Theater nights too, with those guests. So lots and lots to look forward to. And yeah, without further ado, we'll pass over the microphone to Marita Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना
यशोदानन्दन
यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना
यशोदानन्दन
Read these fingers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Now we will read from Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter 2. Contents of the Gita summarized. Text 63. Please repeat after me. Krodhat bhavati sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinashat pranashyati. Krodhat bhavati sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinashat pranashyati. Krodhat bhavati sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinashat pranashyati. Krodhat bhavati sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinashat pranashyati. What the word means? Krodhat from anger, bhavati takes place, sammoha perfect illusion, sammohat from illusion, smriti of memory, vibhramaha bewilderment, smriti bhramshat after bewilderment of memory, buddhinasha loss of intelligence, buddhinashat and from loss of intelligence, pranashyati one falls down. Translation. From anger complete delusion arises, and from delusion bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. So this is Krishna speaking. I would do injustice if I do not read the verse before, because it is really connected. I'll read the translation again. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. I'll read the verse before. Dhyayato vishayan pumcha sangrasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho vijayate. Translation. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. So the verse we were in is a continuation of this verse. It says, from anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. This is Krishna speaking 5,000 years ago. Krishna is a giving us step-by-step procedure how a person falls down. Well, in order to rise also there is a step-by-step procedure, isn't it? Generally we hear any procedure or any good thing or to rise or to become successful, we hear, oh, you have to have a strategy. This is the first step, second step, third step, right? But nobody gives a step-by-step procedure how a person goes down, isn't it? Krishna does so. Krishna is giving a step-by-step procedure how a person comes down, falls down. Let us go from back to front. Is that okay? Just to analyze it. So here, the last step, of course, the final destination would be to one falls down again into the material pool. Now, what is falling down? Falling down into the material pool, what does it mean? It means that the very nature of every living being, every soul, is an eternal servant of God, or eternal servant of Krishna. When he forgets that, then he is considered to be fallen down. Isn't that true? We all hear. We are all eternal servants of Krishna. That is the very nature of every soul. You, me, the souls living inside the bodies of ants, animals, demigods, Brahma, the very nature or the natural position or the constitutional position of the soul is to be an eternal servant of Krishna. But when he forgets about that, then we consider him as falls down. Now, Krishna is giving the process or the procedure. Why a person falls down? Why does a person fall down? Krishna says, no, you see on the screen, when intelligence is lost. When somebody loses his intelligence, then Krishna says he falls down. Now, how does a person lose intelligence? What is losing intelligence? What is intelligence, first of all? Anybody? What is intelligence?
Depends on what kind of intelligence. Like there's emotional intelligence, there's spiritual intelligence.
Okay.
There's lots of different kinds of intelligence, I do believe anyway.
Uh-huh. Okay, we understand that we are the spirit soul. Unless we understand that, we cannot even go further. We are the spirit soul. We are not this body. We are the person living inside the body. We are the soul. So, what is intelligence? It's a tool, just like your eyes. Are you the eyes? The eyes? No. The eyes are a tool for you, the person, to see, right? So eyes are a tool for you to see things. Ears are also a tool or a sense for you to listen or hear. The tongue is also a tool given to you, to the person, so that the person can taste or speak. So similarly, let us come to mind. What is the mind? Mind is also a tool given to the person. And what is the function of the mind? Thinking, feeling, and willing. These are the functions of it. So the person uses the mind to feel, to think, to will, to desire. Now, similarly, as I said, intelligence is also a tool given to the person. What is the function of the intelligence? What does intelligence do at all? Or what does a person do with his intelligence? What is the function? When do we say a person is using his intelligence or not using his intelligence? Yes.
To be able to decide what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, discriminatory power. Intelligence gives the discriminatory power for a person to choose between what he thinks is right or wrong. Whether he is right or not, that's a different case. But everybody thinks something is right, something is wrong, right? So how does he choose what he wants to do, what he should not do based on his intelligence? He uses his intelligence. Intelligence is the discriminatory function, or the ability to discriminate is the function of the intelligence. Now, how does a person know what is right, what is wrong? Of course, he uses intelligence. How does intelligence know? On what basis the a person uses his intelligence to know what is right and what is wrong?
Depends on the content he consumed all over his time.
Yeah. Okay. Where is that content stored?
In our mind.
In somewhere
Somewhere.
in the brain,
In the brain.
in the memory, right? So, for example, what is right, what is wrong, what is absolute right, what is absolute wrong, everybody, that's a different subject matter. But everybody has some opinion about what is right and what is wrong. How does a person come to that opinion? Based on the teachings he has gotten from his childhood, from his teachers, from his parents, from the society, right? Based on that, he understands. He has some opinion about what is right and what is wrong. And that is stored in his memory. He got the teachings, it is stored in the memory. Now, when Krishna is speaking about when somebody loses his intelligence, when does that happen? When does a person lose his intelligence? Or in other words, when is a person not able to use his intelligence? Krishna already said here. When his memory is bewildered. Right? For example, we can say this like when this computer or the phone, when the what is it called? Hard disk crashed. When the hard disk is crashed, the computer doesn't know what to do. Although we give a command, we try to move the cursor moves in the opposite direction or it doesn't move at all. When the hard disk is crashed, it doesn't know what to do, isn't it? When the memory is bewildered, what does it actually mean when the memory is bewildered? What does Krishna mean when the memory is bewildered? When he forgets all the knowledge, all the teachings that he has gained before, then that can be called as memory is bewildered. When the hard disk is crashed, you cannot access any content, isn't it? You cannot access any content stored in the hard disk. When does the memory gets bewildered? When does it get bewildered? Here, all the answers are in the verse on your screen.
Anger, when your emotions are elevated.
Yeah, just before that, there's another step. You're skipping the step. When delusion arises, Krishna says. When delusion arises, memory gets bewildered. When does a person forget what he has learnt? When does he forget what is right and what is wrong? Or when does a person forget all the teachings that he has gained? When he is in delusion. What is delusion? Now we are trying to analyze this. One thing is to read and just go on with it, just I have read this verse. It feels like we may think that we have understood it and just move on. That is one type of reading. Another reading is we want to really understand what is Krishna trying to teach us. Even a small thing. What is Krishna trying to teach us? That is another level of reading a book, especially Bhagavad Gita. We are all here so that we learn something from Bhagavad Gita, from Krishna. So why not we try to analyze? We can use our intelligence. You can use your intelligence now, or everything that is stored in your memories. What is delusion arising? When does from anger, complete delusion arises. From delusion, what is delusion? What is the English translation of delusion, Prabhu?
Confusion. Yeah.
Confusion.
When you don't know what to do.
Yeah? The illusion. We do not know what's going on, or we are.
Yeah.
False belief.
Yeah. Confusion is a good word. Confusion. We do not know what is what. Right? And when does it happen? When does a person falls in delusion? Krishna says, from anger. You must have seen this. When a person really gets angry, most of the crimes, they happen when of course, unless when somebody is angry, he cannot commit a crime, isn't it? To kill a person or to stab a person, especially violent crimes. They cannot be committed unless a person is angry. When somebody is angry, he doesn't know what is what. Although he may be a good person throughout his life, but in the spur of moment, when something agitated him so much, he becomes so much angry, he forgets what to do, what is what, and he kills a person, and then he repents. Oh, what did I do? But there is no use of that. So when somebody becomes angry, then he falls into a delusion whereby he forgets all the teachings that he has learned, and because his memory is bewildered, and then he loses his intelligence, and he doesn't know what to do, or he does something which is not right. Isn't it? Krishna is giving a breakup of how does this happen. Now, the first question, several questions, but the next question is, why does a person become angry? That is what Krishna said in the previous verse. Let us go to the previous verse. Prabhupada used to say that one should read Bhagavad Gita and all the Vedic literatures scrutinizingly. What is the meaning of the word scrutinizingly?
Looking into, like,
Looking into it really deep,
yeah.
deep study. So only then we can understand what is being said. And only when somebody really understands it, only then he can implement the knowledge in his life. Isn't it true?
Yes.
A person convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Isn't it? That's a good English saying. Unless a person is really convinced, then you just keep his own opinion. You would not change it. Only when he is completely convinced. What is convincing? How do you convince other person with any philosophy or anything?
With intelligence.
With intelligence. Yeah. All this actually, Krishna is not a sentimental book just to read. It's not a poetry or anything, just to feel good by reading the verses, Sanskrit or anything. Krishna is trying to give this knowledge to the intelligence of the person. Hey, you analyze it. After Krishna told everything to Arjuna, Krishna told Arjuna, and now you choose what to do. Because I have already said what is what. Now you choose what to do. He did not force Arjuna to act in one way or the other. After giving everything, he gave the option to Arjuna. Now you choose what to do. Because he has given all the philosophy to Arjuna. So, now, what is the question that I asked? When does a person become angry? Krishna says, from lust, anger arises. So when does a person become angry? When he has lust. What is lust? The Sanskrit word for the English term lust is, what is the Sanskrit? We just read.
Desire.
What is the Sanskrit word? Yeah, desire. And in Sanskrit it's called kama. Kama means desire. Lust also means desire, desiring something. So, when a person has a desire, and when that does not happen, then he becomes angry. That's what Krishna says. For example, we think that we all have some plans. If something doesn't go with our plan, then we become agitated, we become angry, isn't it? Or somebody doesn't behave exactly as I think him to behave, then we become angry. We become agitated. Anger does not actually, sometimes it does not always means that, oh, he's like angry and he wants to, beat somebody or do some violence. Anger also can mean he may be laughing or smiling, but he can be angry inside. He's like really agitated, frustrated. That can be called anger. Isn't it true? It's not that somebody comes, we are all angry in one sense. We are all frustrated. Frustration is also can be called anger. So when a person cannot fulfill his desire, then a person becomes angry or frustrated. Now, question. when does a person develops that desire at all? Krishna says, from attachment, lust develops. From when a person is attached to something, then he really desires to have it, to possess it, or to gain control of it. When he's so much attached to something, sometimes a person, for example, when was that? I don't know. Recently I saw some news. In India, boy and girl, they fell in love, and then somehow she ditched him. It can happen the other way around also, but in this case, she ditched him. She went with somebody else, and he became angry. Why is he angry? He fell in love with her. What is the need for him to be angry with her? Why? Because he has this desire to possess her. And if that does not happen, he will become angry. This can happen with so many other things. I'm just giving an example. Not just with persons, with things, with so many, or a plan. Certainly, this happens. So where was I? From attachment, lust develops. When somebody is attached to something, then he gets a desire to possess that object or a person. If that does not fulfill, he will become angry. When does a person become attached to something or a person or a thing? When does he become attached to that? Krishna, again, the answer is already on the screen. When does that happen? Yeah, while contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. When does that happen? When does a person become attached to a person or a thing or anything? When he contemplates on the sense object. What is a sense object? Let us just analyze it. What is a sense object? What are the senses? What are your senses? We have 5 senses. 5 knowledge gaining senses and 5 working senses. What are the 5 knowledge gaining senses? Eyes, ears, nostrils, tongue, and the skin. These are the senses. And what do we do with this? With the eyes we see, we hear, we smell, we taste, and we touch. So what are the objects of these are the senses, and these are the functions of the senses I just told. So what are the objects of the senses? For the eyes, what is the object? A form, right?
Oh, yeah.
A form, a beautiful form or any form that we can see. That is the object of the eyes. And what is the object of the nose? Fragrance. Either good smell or bad smell, it's an object. What is the object for the ears? Sound, any sound. And what is the object for the tongue? Taste, any food or anything that can be tasted. And what is the object for the skin? Touch, right? So when a person contemplates on the sense object, what is the word? What is the meaning of the word contemplation?
Meditation, think about.
Think, not just think deeply or constantly. I think I just pulled up the word. Contemplation is the act of thinking deeply, carefully, and at length about something. So constant thinking about something. Then what happens? Now without seeing, we will go from front to the end, right? Are you all ready? Okay. What happens when a person deeply contemplates on a sense object? Yeah, he becomes attached to that object. For a man, it might be a woman. For a woman, it might be a man. For a man, it might be some money or a possession or a thing or a property or anything. It can be anything. He becomes attached to that. Okay, when a person becomes attached to that, what happens? He develops a great, intense desire to possess it. Right? At any cost, he wants it because he has gotten attached to it. So he wants it at any cost. And when that desire doesn't get fulfilled, what happens? He becomes angry. Now, actually, long time ago, not long, so long time ago, but maybe like 10 years ago, something, when I first heard this, when sannyasi in USA was giving class, when I heard this, he said that when a person cannot fulfill his desire, he becomes angry. Then I asked him a question. Oh well, only when a person cannot fulfill his lust, he becomes angry. What if he fulfills? That was my question. Right? The person generally becomes angry only when he cannot fulfill his desires. Then what if he fulfills his desire? That was the question I asked.
He wants to acquire it.
Huh?
He wants to keep that thing.
He becomes a greedy or something like that.
Yeah, greedy, but generally a material desire can never be fulfilled. There is no end to it. We all think that just this one thing and then I'll all be set. But after that one thing, something else comes up, something more. It is never-ending process. Trying to fulfill a desire, material desire, is just like putting some ghee in the fire. By pouring ghee into the fire can never be extinguished. It can only be burning more. So, when a desire is not fulfilled, he becomes angry. Okay, what happens when he becomes angry?
He loses his.
He gets into confusion, delusion. And what happens when he is into delusion? His memory is bewildered. All the good things that he has learned will be gone. At least at that moment it will be gone. Memory is bewildered. It's not like memory is erased. Krishna did not say, oh, memory is erased. Now you forget all these things forever. No. He said it is bewildered. You cannot recollect or you cannot have the ability to understand what is what I have learned so far. And then when the memory is bewildered,
You lose your intelligence.
yeah, you lose your intelligence. Then when you do not know, when you have lost the knowledge, at least for that moment, you cannot have the ability to discriminate between what is right and what is wrong. And when the intelligence is lost, the person falls down into illusion. So this is the anatomy of this. So we are all attached to so many things in life, in our lives. For example, when sometimes I go on a Harinam or distributing books, sometimes a very poor person who picks up some this used tins from the trash, he collects them into a bag, and I generally do not discriminate who is who. I ask everybody I request everybody if they can chant Hare Krishna. So most of the people who agree to chant are those people who are a little poor and red. So they agree to chant. So what they do, this happened many times for me. So what they do, they keep that bag of trash cans, like the tins, the Pepsi tins. So they keep that bag aside, and I ask them to dance also, chant and dance. But I observe him. He is always concerned whether if he lose that bag of tins. Now for me or for you, all of us, it may be like a joke. Who will be attached to such a bag of cans? Because that is already trash. Everybody has rejected all those cans and put them in the dustbin, but he is collecting it for some other purpose. He is attached to that. We may think that I am not that category. I am not attached to those kind of things. I am attached to higher things. But the great saintly people, just like he is attached to that which has already been rejected by people who have higher consciousness, similarly, everybody in this world are attached to something which has been rejected by great saintly people. Isn't it? So we are also in that category in one sense. We are all in that category. So I used to think, oh, I tell him also sometimes, to some people, don't worry, nobody will take that. Just be mindful and sing and dance and enjoy, be happy, at least for this moment. I ask him. But he is constantly worrying about his bag. So when we are attached to something, we cannot really be happy. Krishna says in another verse in the Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kamshati. A person can really be above these dualities, or the spiritual life begins when he does not lament for what he has lost, and when he does not feel anxious about what he will gain in the future. If he lives in the present, then a real spiritual life begins. Krishna says that is the beginning of spiritual life. So when we are attached, it will eventually lead to our falling into illusion. Then we will lose the discriminatory power, what is right and what is wrong. The real problem in this world is that people don't understand that they are going through so many problems. That is the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that we do not understand that we are going through so many problems. When we try to tell this philosophy to anybody, people generally, they say, oh, don't be so pessimistic, don't be so negative minded. I'm doing okay, I'm good, I'm great, I don't have much problems. You're always talking about so many problems, becoming happy with spirituality. Well, I'm already happy, man. Why do you give this to me? But that is the biggest problem. This illusion, Krishna is talking about it. When a person falls into illusion, what happens is, this illusion or this illusory energy has two potencies. One potency is called, please repeat after me, Avaranatmika Shakti. Shakti means energy, you know that, right? Illusory energy. This has one aspect of it is called Avaranatmika Shakti. Please repeat. And the second is called Prakshepatmika Shakti. It's like a tongue twister. Prakshepatmika Shakti, Avaranatmika Shakti. I'll explain. Avaranatmika Shakti means this illusory potency has the ability to cover one's intelligence. For example, there is a story you must have read or heard. Once Lord Indra, you all know Indra? Indra is the king of the universe. Indra is the Devaraj. Devaraj means he's the king of all the Devatas. He rules the whole universe. Because of his mischief or his offenses to some great saintly people, one great saintly person cursed him to become a pig, and he became a pig. And naturally, what does a pig do? He became a pig. Where does a pig live? Where does a pig live? In the trash, in the dirt, everywhere dirt. And what does a pig eat? All completely. Nobody wants even to see it. So he became a pig. He started to live in the trash. He started to live in the garbage. He's eating abominable things, and he has wife, so many children, and he has made up he thought he's settled now. And once Brahma came, because the post of King Indra was vacant because he became a pig. Now, unless there is a king, the whole universe doesn't go properly. So Brahma came down to request Indra, hey, my dear king, don't you remember that the sage cursed you? Now it has already expired. The curse has expired. You please come back, and you are the. Can you imagine? You are the king of the universe. You are not president of a state or a president of a country or president of one planet. You are the king of the whole universe. Now you please come back. Brahma said, what are you talking about? I'm so happy here. You see, look at what nice breakfast and lunch I'm eating. So palatable. And I do not absolutely have no problem at all. Actually, those who have better consciousness than the pig, they think that pig is living an abominable life, isn't it? We all think that pigs are living abominable life. But because of the illusion, pig is thinking that he's all happy. although a person with a higher consciousness knows he's leading a very, very miserable life. Isn't that true? So similarly, people with higher consciousness than ours have rejected this materialistic lifestyle, and they have understood you are leading a miserable life. Just like the pig, we may also not be able to understand what is what. That is called avaranatmika shakti. It literally means it covers. Avaranatmika means it is a covering energy. It covers one's intelligence to think out of his situation. Second is prakshepatmika shakti. It means it is a pulling down energy. The illusion, first of all, it covers the intelligence of a person, so he cannot even understand that he is going through so many miseries. As I said, that is the biggest problem. Birth, death, old age, and disease, these are the major problems. The materialistic life, actually, I pulled up something. We all know acronyms with some letters. It's a short form of instead of giving so huge philosophy, in a little bit of acronym, we can understand the entire philosophy. So the Vedic literatures give us this. I pulled up somewhere. The materialistic life is like this. In Sanskrit, I think it is similar to Hindi also. Hindi or any Indian language, the alphabets are all similar, isn't it? I think so.
No.
I mean, the way you write it is different, but the way you pronounce it is the same in almost all Indian languages. Anyway, in Sanskrit, let us go with Sanskrit, which is the mother of all languages. There is something called Pa Varga. You all know Pa Varga, Ka Varga, Cha Varga. What is the next? Ta Varga, Tha Varga, and Pa Varga. Right? Okay, anyway, if you do not know, there is no loss. It is on the screen. So, the 5 letters, the Pa Varga, the letters in that Pa Varga are pronounced using our lips. That's why they are called labials. You have to pronounce it, you try it. Pa, Pa, Ba, Ba, Ma. You have to use your lips. So there are other letters that you do not use your lips. For example, the verse, the sequence, the row before that is a Ta Varga. You have to show your teeth in order to pronounce that. Ta, Ta, Da, Da. I'm not teaching you grammar, Sanskrit grammar anyway. So this is the Pa Varga. So Pa, the first Pa refers to Parishram. Parishram means hard labor. In order to fulfill one's desire in this world, everybody works very, 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 very hard. Okay, works very hard. Working very hard is not so bad if he gets the result. Then the next, Fa, Fena. Fena means, you work so hard that it starts to foam in one's mouth. Foaming. Prabhupada, I heard a Prabhupada class, he says, horses generally, they often foam. When they run for a long time, when they do hard work, they foam. The foam comes out of the horse mouth. I have not seen in a horse mouth, but I have seen in a bullock's mouth. After plowing the field, some white foam comes out from the oxen. I used to see that in my father's farm. After the whole day of working, the oxen, what is the sign of that foam? That means it has done very, very hard labor. Fena means foam. And Ba, Vyartata. Vyartata means frustration. And the second Ba means Bhaya, means fear. And Ma means Mrityu. So this is what materialistic life means. Pa means Parishram. One works so hard, everybody has to work so hard. Fa, till he gets foam in his mouth. Even then, does he achieve the result? As we just heard in the verse spoken by Krishna. The lust can never be fulfilled. Materialistic desires can never be fulfilled. Even after we work hard, so much so that foams come out of our mouth, we will still be frustrated. After working hard, so much so that the foam comes out, still we are frustrated. And then we are in constant anxiety, bhaya, fear. Oh, I hope I will not lose this. I hope this will work out as I plan. Or we think in the past, I wish I did not uh, make this decision. I wish I had that. I wish it had happened like that. We are always in the past or in the future, always anxiety, always fearful. And then, mrityu, everything will be taken away from us. All our possessions, all our so-called the achievements, all our successes, everything will be taken away. This is not a negative-minded philosophy though. It is realistic. Somebody has fallen into the well, we cannot be so much up to, hey, don't worry man, you're in a dark well with a lot of snakes, don't worry, be relaxed. We cannot do, you just immediately have to act, isn't it? You have to be realistic. You cannot, in this world there is no, Krishna himself, the creator, says that this world is Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. He repeats that in a different way. Dukhalayam Ashashvatam means this world is full of miseries and temporary. He repeats in another way. Anityam Asukham Lokam. He says it is temporary, it's not permanent, and there is no happiness in this. The real happiness is when we progress on the spiritual path. The real spiritual life begins with the inquiry, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. What is going on? That is the first inquiry. If somebody wants to be spiritual, unless one really inquires into that, then he is not really on the spiritual platform. So all these Vedic literatures, Krishna is teaching this to Arjuna so that Arjuna can really come out of this illusion. Krishna could have told Arjuna just to fight or not fight. Just one word answer. Arjuna asked Krishna, hey, what shall I do? I'm confused. Well, should I fight or not? Krishna should have said, just fight. Don't worry about all this. A one word answer. But Krishna gave 700 verses of philosophy. Why is that? Because he wants Arjuna to know the reality of the situation. And that is applicable to all of us. Bhagavad Gita is a manual for human life. That means with this knowledge, we will have this knowledge. You see, how is one's intelligence purified? We already learned. How does intelligence discriminate between what is right and what is wrong? Based on what?
Devotional service?
Based on? No. Based on? We just learned. Why? When does intelligence gets lost? Memory is bewildered. What is stored in the memory? Knowledge. So, how does the intelligence take decisions for you? How does you use your intelligence in the best way? By acting, by taking advantage of the knowledge. Of course, we are not, the Bhagavad Gita is not a mundane knowledge. This is a transcendental knowledge. It gives about reality. Without having to become obliged, whether somebody calls it a negative-minded philosophy or a positive-minded, it is a realistic philosophy. It is not, Krishna is saying that this world is full of problems, but he's also giving a solution. If you keep on saying about the problem, that is negative-minded. Then if you say that there is no solution at all, there is no solution, it is full of problems, you will suffer and you will go to hell forever. That is negative-minded philosophy. Realistic philosophy means you are in problem, but I have a solution for you also. And that solution is not so complicated. Yes, we think. Actually, not taking the solution is more complicated. But taking up this solution is very simple. For simple-minded people, this philosophy is very simple. For those who are complicated, it becomes more and more complicated. So, I think that's all I can think of. Do you have any particular questions regarding this or any comments? Yes, please.
Prabhuji, so why do parents attach so much to their kids when there is so much knowledge?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, this verse applies spiritually also. Now, Krishna is saying while contemplating on the sense objects, you'll become attached to it, then you'll develop a desire to possess it, and then because you will not possess it, it will never happen, you'll become angry eventually and you'll fall down eventually. But this can be applied to the spiritual life also. What is the sense object? As I said, we want to see a form. Instead of if we make Krishna the sense object for all our senses, then obviously, and when we contemplate on Krishna, what happens? When we contemplate on Krishna, what happens? We become attached to Krishna. And when you become attached to Krishna, what happens? You develop a desire to have Krishna in your life, right? And when you develop a desire to have it, then the question may come, oh well, you will become angry when... It is true. It's not that devotees do not become angry. For example, Arjuna, what is Krishna trying to teach Arjuna? To fight, right? Can a person fight with a cool-headed, hey, Duryodhan, take my arrow now? Unless he is really angry, he cannot fight. Nobody can fight. Do you agree with me or not? Unless somebody is angry, can he be able to fight? So that means Arjuna is angry while fighting, right? So in other words, Krishna is trying to ask Arjuna to be angry also. You see? Anger, people think these are negative energies. But they are considered negative energies based on what you use for. Just like a knife. Knife is negative or is it bad or good? It depends on how you use it. Right? Similarly, anger. How you use it, it depends on how you use it, whether it is bad or not. So attachment also. How you use it, then it is determined whether it is bad or not. When you are attached to materialistic things, it is bad. It spoils you. You'll eventually come into illusion. But if you are attached to anything related to Krishna, then you progress. The same attachment, but you progress. Just like, Rupa Goswami, he says that one should not be greedy. In one of the 6 factors that spoil devotional service, he says, Atyahara prayasasya prajalpo niyamagraha jana sangasya laulyamsha shadbir bhaktir vinashyati. Once devotional service is spoiled, or once spirituality is spoiled, when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities. You ready? First, eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required. Second, over-endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Third, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. Fourth, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them, and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Fifth, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And 6, greedy for mundane achievements. So greed, laulyam, is also mentioned. One should not be greedy for achieving material things. But the same Rupa Goswami says somewhere else, it is again from the same person, from the same spiritual master. He says, Krishna bhakti rasa bhavita mati kritam yadi kutopi labhyate. Tatra laulyam api molyam ekalam janma koti sukritayana labhyate. He says, pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be had even by pious activity in hundreds and thousands of lives. It can be attained only by paying one price. What is that price? That is intense greed. Again, you see, he's saying intense greed to have Krishna. So greed, is it bad or good? It depends on how you use it, what you use it for. So similarly, to answer your question, attachment, is it good or bad? Based on what you are attached to. We say we all should be attached to Krishna. That is the greatest benefit one we can ever have. If you're not, it's not just Krishna. Krishna means Krishna's devotees. Or it's not that money. Is money good or bad? Based on what you use it for. We say use money for good activities, for progressing yourself and also your family members in the spiritual life. For Krishna. That is, we don't say knife is bad or good based on what you use it for. Don't kill people with knife. Use it to cut vegetables and offer the food to Krishna. That is the best use of knife. So based on what? Anxiety. Is anxiety good or bad? I was talking to my wife. She was in anxiety because she has a small kid. She has to chant because she's initiated. That means she has taken a vow to chant 16 rounds. She also generally, her spiritual master recommends that one should attend morning program every day. And with a small kid and so many things, one should read the scriptures, one should chant 16 rounds, which takes at least 2 hours. One should do so many things. Anxiety. So much of anxiety. She asked me, I said, this anxiety is good. That you are anxious that you are not developing any love for Krishna, that is a good anxiety. You are always anxious about, I will lose this, I will not get that. Our boyfriend is thinking about her girlfriend is thinking about her boyfriend, always anxious. You'll only become sick and go into depression. And then you'll eventually end up in a mental hospital with so much medication. That anxiety is bad. But being anxious about Krishna is good. One should be anxious that he's not developing any love for Krishna. That is a good anxiety. So, all these are, although they may seem to be negative energies, but they can all be employed in Krishna service. Even anger. Lord Hanuman, you all know, he burned the whole Lanka. Unless somebody is angry, how can he burn down the whole city? He is angry. Like Krishna is telling Arjuna to be angry and fight, but for a greater cause. So all these can be employed in Krishna service. Did I answer that question? Yeah, yes, please.
So, can we say we should in our daily life basis practice our consciousness in a way that we are more attached or more greedy towards Krishna?
Can you please repeat that?
Should we practice this in our daily life, daily activities, that we should be more conscious to be more attached or to be more hankering for Krishna or association of devotees than the material? We should contemplate that, here is my consciousness going the wrong path, I should bring it back. And
yes, you should
we
all
practice this?
Of course, every verse of Bhagavad Gita is for us to practice in our day-to-day lives. Once Prabhupada's disciple asked Prabhupada, I'm always Krishna conscious, but sometimes I fall in illusion. Can you please give me a solution? And Prabhupada corrected him. No, you're actually wrong. You're the other way wrong. You're mostly in illusion, and sometimes here and there you are thinking about Krishna. That is a problem. So if you're always contemplating on Krishna, then we will become attached to Krishna. So this verse applies to both spiritual life and also the material life. The only problem is, and also I have to say, you may ask, well, if this applies to spiritual life also, when somebody becomes angry, then he also falls into delusion and he loses his intelligence and eventually fall down. Then does that not happen to a devotee who is angry? No. He will not lose his intelligence because his anger is based on that knowledge. Right? Arjuna became angry and fought based on the knowledge given by Krishna. He's not losing it, he's gaining it. Right? He's not falling into illusion. Illusion means what? Forgetting about Krishna. Right? That is the definition of illusion. Maya means that which is not. That is a literal translation of Maya or illusion. Forgetting about Krishna is illusion, Maya. Remembering Krishna is not illusion. So when somebody is devotees, like Srila Prabhupada, when you read Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita, somebody who does not understand this philosophy, he may get upset that how come such a great saintly person become angry so many times. You can find his pastimes that Prabhupada has become angry so many times. But does he fall into illusion because he is angry? No. Rather, he is connecting himself and also others to Krishna. That is not, he is not falling into illusion. Rather, he is bringing others from illusion to Krishna. So that is the difference. So when we are attached to Krishna and when we act on based on the transcendental knowledge given in Bhagavad Gita, even though one has to employ so-called negative energies in Krishna's service, they don't fall into illusion. Yeah. Yes.
So can we say our mind is the culprit for all this starting, and we should start training our mind and our consciousness?
That's a good point. Nip it in the bud. When we, how does the end begin? Contemplating, right? Contemplating on the sense objects. So if we stop there, then the next procedure doesn't go through. That is the first step. Contemplating on the sense objects. For example, I'm telling this so that you will connect it, but this is not the only thing. A man contemplates on the form of a woman, or a woman contemplates on the form of a man. They become attached to each other. But when we stop there itself, for example, somebody contemplation also can mean visually or hearing with any sense. It's not just on the mind. You constantly see a form or hear about something, you constantly do that, then you become attached to it, you want to develop a desire to acquire it, possess it by any means, then it will eventually lead to or fall down. What was the question?
So can we say our mind is the main?
Yeah, mind is a culprit. But we should train by practicing, by devotional service.
But it keeps on falling.
Yeah, we keep on bringing it back. It falls like a child. It is a nature. It is already hidden within every child that he can walk. It is already there. The ability to walk is already there in the child. And while trying to walk, he falls like hundreds of times, but he never gives up. You see, we should learn from small children also, not from only adults or very elderly people. We should learn from small children also. A child never gives up walking because he knows that ability to walk is already inside me. He falls 100 times, he gets up 100 times. He keeps on trying. Only that, of course, we cannot achieve anything by our own effort. But when we try sincerely, that's when Krishna wants to help. Krishna wants to help those who try sincerely, not who want to just try once and leave it. Sincerity, how do we measure sincerity? When again and again and again he is trying to do the same thing. Even if he is failing, he is trying to do the same thing, then we can understand that he is sincere, isn't it? The devotee is failing in something, but he's sincerely trying again and again and again. Then he's sincere. And Krishna favors such sincere devotee. Alright? Thank you so much. Yes, good.
We said Tata Brahmji Gyasa, that we are eternal servant of Lord. How we get that realization? By having spiritual master, or we can just listen to lectures, or we discriminate with other people that they are the body, but we are not able to see the soul inside.
Yeah, everything is a step-by-step process. Now, how do we realize, you said?
Yes.
First is Shraddha. One must have some inquisitiveness, some interest in this process to know what is what. Shraddha. What is the next? Bhajana Kriya. No. Sorry, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha. Then when one has some interest, he goes and associates with some like-minded people. And he associates means not just sit in the same room. When they talk, they listen. You listen. That is called Sadhu Sangha. And he slowly develops some knowledge, and then Bhajana Kriya. And they give him some practice to follow. Then he takes up the practice, chanting every day, reading Bhagavad Gita every day, that helps. Bhajana Kriya, what is that? Anardhanivritti. Then he removes all the unwanted things from his heart. is a step by step. Everything is a step by step process. Falling down is a step by step process. Growing up, rising above is also a step by step process. And then Nishta, he becomes completely convinced that this is the process. And then Ashakti, he develops attachment. Then so many other stages. Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. We will go off the day. Now we will have some kirtan.
Om Vishnu Padma Jai Stotra Santa Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Om Vishnu Padma Mahamsa Pri Jai Stotra Santa Shri Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Maharaj Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Shri Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Mathura Dham Ki Navadvip Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Mayapur Dham Ki Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya Ki Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Sankirtan Yagya Ki Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for coming. I think now we have some new people coming for the first time, isn't it? For the first time to this program. Let us all welcome James. Thank you, James. And anybody else here for the first time? Oh, Hare Krishna. Your names? Jagannath. We are going to talk about that name. So, thank you. Lakshmi. Oh, we are going to talk about Lakshmi ji. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. We have these programs every Sunday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. We also have other programs on Friday in the evenings, Friday Kirtan programs. Everybody is warmly welcome to all the programs. Please do come. And today is what? Today is 21st. We don't have any sponsor, but the weekly garlands are sponsored by Vibhu. Is he here? But the Sunday feast itself is not sponsored. If somebody would like to sponsor the Sunday feast, they're more than welcome. They can see us after the feast. Or not just this Sunday, any Sunday. Throughout the year, they can do so. Or any weekly garlands, they can do so. You can see, look at the blank spaces on the board. Those are open. Thank you. And now Prabhu will guide us through some Jagannath and Lakshmi.
Yep. Some connection there, yes. Okay, so we need some flag bearers.
Oh, not this time.
Any volunteers for flag bearers?
Yes.
Pass them out.
So you all please sit here,
Right there.
facing them. So you can sit there. Prabhu, we can sit there.
So you can see these beautiful flags. They are going to be used to adorn the cart of Lord Jagannath. We have a big parade taking place. Yeah, hold them up all the way. Right up so we can all see them.
Can we show this?
Oh yes. Hold that one above all those. It's like, there's the chariot and there are the flags that are coming and supporting it. We're doing a whole parade all around downtown here area. Going to be going, starting at Range Road, going all the way up by the river, down Laurier, then King Edward, down on Somerset. We'll stop here and have a little dance party for a little bit, chant Hare Krishna, for the pleasure of Shri Shri Gaura Nitai and Lord Jagannath. And then we're going to go all the way down to the park right here, Sandy Hill, where we'll have a full day of festivities. Big tent, we'll have prasadam, food preparations. We're planning on cooking for 3,000 people, 3,000 guests, and there will be some dance, there will be some drama, There will be some face painting. There will be some henna. There will be some boutique items. There will be some Govinda's delectable treats. Maybe some samosas, who knows. Some books on transcendental subject matter and Krishna consciousness, what Marita Prabhu is speaking about today. And so we do this every year. And as you can see, the temperature's getting warmer and warmer. We're at about 55% or so. And the goal is $38,000. And you're thinking, $38,000 for one day of having a party? So one thing we have to remember is that Lord Jagannath is the Lord of the universe. So there's no amount of money that's impossible to be able to raise to be able to serve the Lord also. And this is actually something in the Bhagavad Gita. It said, Patra Pushpam Param Toyam. It says, one offers to me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it if it's offered with love. Right? So really the amount is not so significant, but it's the intent, right? The spirit that the offering is being made. And most of us here are householders, right? We have jobs, we don't live in the temple. And therefore one good way for us to be able to contribute is perhaps some of our earnings that we make, we can go and support to give to Lord Jagannath and derive a benefit from doing so. Right? This is one practical service that can be done. Now we've done a couple of weeks of putting these flags up, and I've started usually with, which one did I usually start off with? Harinam Seva, which was $200, $250 was it? $250, and then it went up, and then so on and so forth. So this time I figured, let's start with the top and work our way down, right? So just thinking about it here, this is the top donor's flag here. It's called the Ratha Seva for Lord Jagannath. And this is the donation in the amount of $2,000. So if somebody would like to, we had a couple of, I think, sponsors, one or two sponsors for the $2,000 over the last few weeks. That if there's anybody here that would like to make a sponsorship for $2,000, think about it, hold that thought. We've got tent rentals, tables and chairs, the Roth cart that's coming all the way from Florida, the police. Maybe you have a passion for supporting the police, right? And
I love that band.
Okay. Parade, roadblocks, city park, freezer, $2,000 for serving plates, essentials, $3,000 for flowers, $5,000 for prasadam. This is the Ratha Seva. Okay? So here we go. Would anybody like to sponsor the Ratha Seva for $2,000? I'll let you think on that. Meditate for a few seconds on it. Oh yes, please. Tell us a little bit about that.
So those who make a contribution, first of all of these flags will be on the cart, on the chariot of Lord Jagannath. And those of you who make the contribution, their names will be printed specially on these flags and will be hung on the chariot, decorate the chariot. And after the festival, you'll be getting back those flags as Mahaprasada.
Along with real Mahaprasad.
Yeah, along with actual, yeah. We're talking about the senses today, so engaging the sense of the tongue also, right? So that's right. Madhava Prabhu made a good point. Your name will go down in history. Okay? So think about that. Let's chant a couple of rounds of Hare Krishna, right? While we think about the Ratha Seva. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Wonderful. I already see some hands up here. Does somebody want to sponsor? So, the Ratha Seva, let you think on that. Also, some devotees, they don't, perhaps they feel a little shy to be able to make the vow in front of everybody at the temple, although it is a good thing to do. When you make a vow in front of the deities and all the other devotees, the deities will help and the devotees will help you to be able to get to that vow. Maybe not monetarily, but in spirit, and good blessings and good wishes. Okay, so let's move on to the next flag, which is that one? Gadapada Seva?
Yeah, Gadapada Seva.
Gada Padma Seva.
The pink one. I think it's a pink one.
Is the pink one?
Yes.
Shanka Chakra Seva. What does that one mean?
Conch and wheel.
Okay. It also means $1,000. Okay. So $1,000 donation for the Sanka Chakra Seva. Any takers? $1,000. You only have a week or two left to be able to make a donation.
What happens if it doesn't make it all the way to the top? I'm just asking.
Well, we're not going to go there right now.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
big confidence in everybody here. It's not going to be an issue. Okay. Okay. Any thoughts? Okay, let's go to the next one. Is that the Gada?
Yes.
Gada Padma.
Gada Padma Seva. So this one is in the amount of $500. Anybody like to make a donation?
There we go. We got one.
So for $500. Okay, we're going to move on to the next flag. So this is the Harinam Seva. So this is in the amount of $250. Anybody like to make a donation for $200? Haribo! There we go! Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. We'll take the names of... And Roy Prabhu as well. Haribo! Wonderful. I should have started with those flags, eh? Those are the ones. I'll do that again next week. Start with the Lord. 250. Anybody else? See if we can get a third one. Okay, so think on it during Prasadam. Once you taste the Prasadam and see what it's like, and after you may feel like, okay, I want to make some contribution, you can come and see Maruja Prabhu, and he'll take your pledges from you and your information. Okay? Let's give a loud Haribol to our donors. Haribol! Alright.
Even if somebody cannot do any of the amounts mentioned, they can, from their heart, they can do any amount. They can. Every penny will help. And every penny is guaranteed to be engaged in Krishna service on the same day. You'll feel that the tent itself, the big tent, would cost $10,000 just to rent it. Every penny will be spent for Krishna service. For prasadam, we are planning, as you said, we are planning to give free prasadam for more than 3,000 devotees would come. And the flowers, the whole temple, the chariot itself, Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Mai, they all will be decorated with so many nice fresh garlands. And the police to escort us, everything will be gone in these expenses. So please think about it. And whatever you donate, we will accept it. Thank you.
Whatever, and it can be more than $2,000 also, right? So it doesn't have to be less. It can be more as well. We'll take those donations too. Okay, so I think at this point, again, I made an announcement earlier about Canada Day, July 1st. It's a Wednesday. There will be breakfast. There will be a morning program at the temple, and then we're going out in front of the National Arts Center, in front of the War Memorial. And we're just going to do kirtan all day. Then we have some guests coming from Florida. The youth tour bus. There's about 40 youth that are coming with Bhakti Marg Swami too. He'll be here, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of. And I think also Sundar Chaitanya Swami as well as Sundar Chaitanya Swami, right? So we have two Swamis that are going to be present, and having kirtan with any one of them is super ecstatic and amazing. To have them both here, it's going to be wonderful. So we invite you to come and join us and participate. Canada Day, July 1st. And at this point, we will get ready to close the altar. So if you want to come and make some prayers in front of the Lordships, feel free to do so. And then Prashadam will be served shortly. Hare Krishna.